gonna come for me.
Now, you're gonna see what I see.
Don't Breathe 2 had me on the edge of my seat the entire time I watched it. Stephen Lang, what was it like for you to revisit the story?
It pleased me so much that they were able to come up with something that paid such homage to the world that they had created with the first one, and yet expanded upon that world, widened it and deepened it.
One of the first things that you guys said was that sound was so important. Can you talk about how you directed around sound?
You have to think about sound because that's how he gets around in any given situation, and you actually have to write down sound on the script, which is something that you don't usually do. It becomes a huge player in the narrative. So already at a script level, sound design was present.
What an incredible cast that you guys had. Can you tell us about what it was like working with Stephen Lang and Madeline Grace?
I was pleasantly surprised and blessed having both of them in this movie.
Madeline, you killed this role. What was it like working with Stephen Lang?
He was really real and authentic, and he made all the scenes feel very intense, but it was always super fun.
So there's been a lot of talk about your character and whether he should be shined in that heroic light. And I really would love for you to speak to your character, because you said that you like the challenge of, you know, it just raises a lot of questions of like what's wrong and what's right, and people redeeming themselves.
I would also point out that in classical terms, to be a hero in no way means that you are any kind of paragon of virtue. And I would say, well, actually, he's not an anti-villain. He's an anti-villain.
First movie was about a villain that got away with it. And so we thought we need to tell on the second story. We were intrigued about, you know, how does his life goes on, and we knew the audience was going to be intrigued about, is justice ever going to be made and served about the crimes, you know, for the crimes he committed in the first movie. Is this guy going to see who he truly is? On the first film, he really sees himself as a hero of the story. He's constantly saying all the things he's not, and he doesn't see any flaw in what he's doing. He thinks he's just doing justice. He's called a blind man not for anything that has to do with his sight. It's just because of his moral compass. On this movie, we just want to craft a story that will force him to confront who he truly is, and hopefully towards the end he will see the truth about his deeds and his actions.
The movie, I'm like so excited to see what people think of it.
What do you want them to feel after seeing this film?
I want them to be like, oh my god, like kind of like what just happened. Throughout the movie, I want them to be like on the edge of their seats and be like, oh, what's gonna happen? And I want it to be scarier than the first one.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. I had so much fun. I was freaking out. I was hiding myself. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. So thank you so much. I can't wait for everybody to watch the film.
Thanks, guys. We want to freak you out.